Hey guys, how are you doing today? Um, I don't know what we're gonna do today, but we just stopped by the Buona Cafe, which is actually the closest, I think is the closest little coffee shop next to the college campus. So if you're at the college and you want to drop by a coffee place, I think this is the closest one, Buona Cafe. Um, and yeah, again, they have really nice coffee. And I had light roast Brazilian, and they have light roast Ethiopian, and they put it in the little glass dripper, and basically they put the hot water and foams up, and it drips down. It's basically how coffee should be made. I just realized that there is an Academy Sports in Augusta. I never saw it on the map, but I just saw it, and we're gonna go there because I need to buy me some fishing supplies, and we'll go check it out. I don't know if it's just as big as the one back in Atlanta area that I go to, but I want to go check it out and see how it is. So that's where we're headed now. There it is. It looks about the same size as the one I'm used to. I need to buy me some striper lures because I've lost most of them for the past couple of days I was fishing. So I was taking my time in Academy buying cheap lures, and my wife decided to hurry me out of there. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna stop by Cabela's as well. Maybe they have some lures, and I ended up buying two nice rods. Got me a Mitchell 300, and it's actually a combo. And I also got the Fledger President. Pretty excited. Hey guys, so I kind of rushed out of the stores and didn't really talk about what I'm buying and what I'm doing there. So I wanted to do a quick update on what I did, what I bought, and why I was there in the first place. I also want to tell you what the secret sauce is for the catch and striper bass at the new Savannah Bluff and Lockdown. So let me show you my fishing poles, just the ones that I regularly use. I have some other ones that I don't use, especially here. I won't use them. I use them on the Lake Lanier. When I went out with my boat, I have the down rigs, which are not gonna be used here unless I go to the lake. Strong Thurman, or what is it called? Clark's Hill. But yeah, here are my current fishing rods that I have and that I'm actively using right now, and the ones that I just bought and why I bought them. So let me start with this one right here. I've had this rod for about 4 or 5 years. It's a little Daiwa. I don't even know what the model is on it. Yeah, I don't know, but it's a very light reel and a rod. It's a let me see what it says here. 6 to 14 pound lures, and it's a 6.6 medium action spinning rod. It's really, I don't know if it's a medium, it's more like light, and I've been using it just for trout and crappie and all kinds of small stuff like that. It is a two-piece rod, and it's been pretty good. I have my my workhorse here. This was gifted to me about 10 years ago, and it's a Viper VP 2060 from Bass Pro Shop, and that's a combo with the same Viper 2060 MS rod here. This is a 6 foot medium action for 12 pound, and very nice rod. I've tried looking for them, trying to buy another one, but they have been discontinued long time ago. Again, this is a 10-year-old rod and reel. You can see how beat up it is. But this is basically, this is the setup that I got the two stripers on, and I had no trouble pulling them out. The problem with this rod is it's only a 6 foot, so you can see right here is a 6. This one is 6 and 6 inches. This one is 6. I couldn't really cast far towards where the water goes down, the locks, and so I decided I need to get something a little bit bigger, and that's why I went through Academy today, and I also went through Bellas on my way back. Let me show you what I got there. So the two rods, the two reels that I was looking at, they're a little bit bigger than that. And again, as I was talking to my neighbor who grew up here, and he's a good fisherman, he told me I don't need anything but 15-pound line for the striper that's around here, and a reel that's just a little bit bigger than what I have. He did recommend the Shimano 2500, but I looked through the specs of the Shimanos. I didn't want to go really expensive, because a nice reel from Shimano is gonna cost you over $100, over 100 and something dollars. So I did some research, and I really liked this Fledger, and this is the Fledger President, and this is the 6935 model. It's a 10 bearing reel, and I thought it was a perfect replacement of my old one. It is a little bit bigger than the old one, and I was like, okay, this might be it. And then as I was doing a little more research, I found about the Mitchell 300, which is a little bit better than that reel as far as capacity, how much line I can put on it, and basically the drag is a little higher on this one. So I was like, okay, well, this one is gonna be perfect for striper fishing here. So I went to the store looking for this reel, and I got the reel. It was $50, and then I started looking for a rod, and I wanted a nice lightweight rod, and I was looking for a one piece, just because my my Viper there is a one piece, but and I did pick up a Cabela's, because the Cabela's have lifetime warranty on their rods. I did pick out a nice one-piece rod that was 7 foot, and I was and again 7 foot because I need to cast a little further out than my 6 foot rod, which was having a little bit of a trouble. I pick out the reel, I pick out the rod. The rod was $70 something, and the reel was $50, so that comes out to $120. So I set them on the counter and said, well, let me go and find a smaller reel, maybe something to replace this, or something in between these two, just so I can have a nicer reel again for fishing bass and smaller bass and all that, and I don't have to use this one. I try not to use this one at all. It's not my favorite rod. This was my favorite rod. And so I went around the aisles looking for a rod and reel, and I wanted to get a combo, just so I don't have to spend another 2 hours trying to pick it out. My wife had already given up. She sat down and was waiting for me. So we went through the aisle with the sales guy, and I told him, well, show me what you have there, and he picks out this Mitchell combo. And he said, well, there is another Mitchell here, reel, and then we'll look at the rod too, and it's a Mitchell rod as well. So this is the Mitchell 300 reel and Mitchell 300 rod. And I was like, well, I like combinations just like that. I like the kits. So guess what? We're going to replace the ones that I picked out. We're just going to go with this, because this was basically it was cheaper because it was a combo, so it was like save $30 or something, and then when he scanned the price for it, it was actually another 10-15 bucks cheaper. So this came out to 60 something bucks. So instead of just buying one rod for 70 something dollars, I got the whole thing for less than that. So I was very excited about that already. And then I was like, well, since I got that for so cheap and I already made my mind about spending the 100 and something bucks, let's pick another light one. And so we went looking around again, and guess what? We saw this reel on a combo rod as well. So I was like, oh, hold on. This thing with a combo is only 60 bucks. And the rod that it was on is a Cabela's rod. I was like, oh, that is really nice. So we got a nice medium rod here as well, 612 pound rod. This reel is it's gonna be almost as good as the Metro 300 actually. So I might actually just switch back and forth between these two, have two different lures in them, and just use them at the same time for striper, because this will be perfect for handling as well. Again, this reel, this is a very sweet little reel. This is really the reason I started looking for getting something, because I really like this reel, and it looks like a lot of people do like it as well. It has almost 500 ratings on Cabela's website, so it's pretty much their most popular reel, and they are on sale right now too. So just the reel we can get for 40 bucks. But anyway, that's how I ended up with two 7-foot rods. And I'm really excited because I basically got one for free because of the amount of money I was going to put into a fishing rod, just one. So that's about the reels and the rods and all the equipment that I got. But before that, I went to Academy for one big reason is Cabela's don't have the right lures that I need for the striper bass. So let me show you what those lures are. And this is really all you need to catch striper here at the dam. Let me show you real quick. So really the only lure that you need for there is you can use top water. My very first striper was on top water. It was on a Super Spook, the ones they use in the sea, since this is a sea striper bass. Comes all the way down from the ocean. But for this time of the year, and this is July, this is your perfect lure. This is the 4-inch sexy shad, or I don't know what this one's called. I don't know what it's called, but it usually is called just a sexy shad. And this is the 4-inch, and again in July you want to use this. It costs about $3, and you want to use this on these kind of jig heads right here. So these are 1 ounce jig heads, and I put those fishies on it. This might be a little too big for it, but it allows me to cast a little further. And I lost a lot of them already just because if you don't reel fast enough, you'll get caught in the rocks on the bottom and you'll lose your lures. I am using braided line on these, and you can't just use braided line there. You have to use a poly leader. So you have to have that before you hook up this to it. Otherwise, you're going to lose your lures, your line. You're going to lose a lot of line every time you get hooked up. And so, one big issue about these is that they don't have them in the right color that we need them. They have them in blue and green and white, and they don't have them in red. So this is exactly what you want it to look like when you go fish for that striper right there. This is the secret sauce right here. And basically how I got these red ones
is I asked my wife which red nail polish she does not like anymore. And so I used the red nail polish and I colored all of the ones that I had, and that's how I have the red ones now. So basically all of these ones, they'll be colored in red as well. One thing about later in a couple of months, in a month or two, we'll have to switch to a bigger fish, bigger baits. These are 4-inch. Earlier in the year you have to use a smaller one, and then a little bit later we're gonna start using these 5-inch flukes, or actually this is a 7-inch fluke. And the later in the year we're going to use bigger and bigger basically flukes or whatever it is. And see, these are already bigger jig heads. These are 1.5 ounce. So the bigger the bait, rubber bait, you're gonna have to use a bigger jig head. And then by the end you're gonna have to use like another, like a 12-inch, like a foot long bait. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I really wanted to share out with you, and I hope you are successful out there. And if you see me, say hi. If you know who I am, just say hi. And I would really appreciate it if you like those videos I make, if you subscribe, and I want you to share them, because I want people to see that Augusta is not boring. It's not a village. It's an actual fun city that you can actually do a lot of things here, and it's very exciting. And I just want people to understand that, because I was coming here to see a village and to live in a village for the next 4 years. But apparently it's going to be a lot more fun than I thought it would be. So again, like, subscribe, and share those videos out for other people to see, and maybe they'll attract more people to come here and enjoy these nice places as well. Thanks for watching.